So let's paint the timeline here. And unfortunately, my heart goes out to the other creators in the world. And this is where I'll attack this seriously because, I'm okay. I am okay. Me. I have worked myself into a position where I'm all right. I don't have worries, right? That's not really the case for a lot of other creators, man. A lot of other creators, unfortunately, when we get into this corporate atmosphere and around some suits and just around some execs and some people who just really don't understand our culture, it puts creators in a very compromising position. I will say that. Let me paint this timeline for some people, and I want to start this timeline, and again, we're not here to bash anyone. We love everyone that we have worked with. But I start this timeline with the good people at Complex telling me for 9 months that I can't smoke in the bathroom.
This is why you got fired?
No, but I'm gonna paint a timeline here. Yeah. As someone who my background is in music. My background is in the music business.
Yeah, we smoke.
In 2000, in 98, in 99, in 2000, in 2001, in 2002. I don't know when the rules kind of changed, but where you were able to smoke in corporate offices? The bathroom. We knew that was not allowed.
Well, the hallways too, the steps.
Well, yeah, back then, yeah.
That's right.
We knew that was not allowed. Creators, I'm talking to y'all. We are afforded some different rights. While we knew that was not allowed for the job that we were doing inside of the building, nigga, they would go build you a smoking chamber.
Right.
If you wanted to smoke a cigarette, if you wanted to smoke a blunt, if you wanted to smoke crack cocaine last decade at a record label and you were profitable, they would find a way to appease you. That is important here. Because every time them niggas said to me, why are you smoking in the bathroom? For me, it was a constant reminder of people that were out of touch with culture.
Wait, what?
No, I'm with him. I'm rolling. I'm a smoker.
I'm going to make a lot of points that it may be hard to keep up with. I'll put it to you this way, Rory. 3 weeks ago, they attacked security at Complex downstairs, trampled a man who was trying to break in to that building to get to Complex, to speak to academics or myself, I being the famous person there. When people are famous, you have to kind of cater to their notoriety, is what I'm saying. I shouldn't be smoking anyway, the baby coming. Let's keep it all the way buck. I'm working on that. But when you tell a nigga you cannot smoke, so let's fast forward. I create a show. I do not care what the end credits of that show say. Noah, along with Elliot, along with some other people, understand how this show came to fruition. I didn't think it ever needed to be addressed. I didn't think it ever needed to be said because I'm a man of integrity. I live and die on right and wrong. There wasn't very much to negotiate when I created this show because I just created a show. I mean, it wasn't profitable at all. As a creator, I went into this venture with a vision for what it could become. What it quickly became was the best hip-hop show ever, in my opinion. I'm biased. I'm biased.
I think that's accurate.
I don't think ever before in hip-hop there has been a show where they just giving it up like that. And I do credit that to Ack as well. That dynamic between the three of us on that screen does not exist without everybody playing a part. I think that part from day one was disregarded and ignored by whoever it is that is running Complex. That's what I think. I think that's fair to say. Let me get an air horn in that, man. Hold on. Let me turn up my air horns, man. Niggas playing. Oh shit. Wait, hold up, man. There, right? I think that's fair to say. Creators, if you've created long enough, I'm sure you've gone through something like this. Let me speed this timeline up for a little bit. Day one, when I walk into Complex, I look at their objective, the company's objective on the board to see what it is they need to meet as a company. I was aware of the company's standing when I got there. I told academics, Noah, and plenty of other people, for this show to be a success, we kind of have to address some of the other things happening in Complex. In month 1 and month 2, I noticed that all of that shit was out the fucking window. Nobody really gave a fuck the way that I did. That is important to say, because it doesn't make anybody right or wrong. It just means Joe is a lot more passionate and psycho-neurotic and obsessive than some other people, right? Self-awareness is important here. Am I going to tell a whole story without y'all giving a oh shit or something?
No, we're here.
All right.
I'm listening, man. I told you. All
right, so y'all are listening. All right, I just want to make sure everybody's still here and attentive. Oh, let's see. Month 3. They come to us and they say Nike has Vapor Max sneakers. And we're doing a sponsor integration or some shit. We need you niggas to wear this. My business mind told me I knew better than that. I wore it anyway. That's a check, people. And it's not a small check. It is a rather large check. Complex solicits rather large checks.
Do they share with the creators?
No.
There you go.
So that's fine. Let's put that to the side.
What's a contract?
That was a red flag. Yeah, but contracts are made to be broken. I rock like the football owners. If the contract is bad, then it's bad and we out. Nigga, that's very different today. This ain't like last decade when you had to be locked into the contract, number one. Number two, add value wherever you go. So when you leave, you take that motherfucking value with me. A contract means nothing to me. Follow me?
I'm on board.
Fast forward. Spotify calls them. They want us to talk about a Rap Caviar playlist. They want to insert topics for me to speak about candid under the guise of it being, air quotes, candid, for no money or very little money. As the creator of this show, that's a problem. So Joe says, no. Know what they said? Fuck you, Joe. We'll do it without you. Know what Spotify said? Sorry, Complex. No, you won't. I'm telling you about a company that has now damaged a relationship with one of the top 3 streaming providers, creators, because I'm not talking to everyone. Everyone will not understand what Joe fights for. I'm talking to the creators. I cannot create a show and you sell the fucking properties of that show without cutting a slice to the niggas that make that fucking show possible. Sorry. That's not Joe being irate. That is not Joe. What are some of the adjectives that they say about me? They say I'm a nutcase. And granted, it's true. It's true. However, when you get with the nutcase, you got to stick with the nutcase. The show only works because you're a nutcase. Anyway, they lose the fucking relationship with Spotify. They keep moving like nothing has occurred. In between all of this, they start to incorporate guests on this show. I did not build and create this show to fucking talk to guests every day. I hate fucking guests. Now that I'm unemployed, allow me to speak freely. I hate all of you niggas. Every last one. Some of my friends that know and love me can attest to this. Am I lying here? Do I want to talk to any of these niggas honestly? No. Complex / Verizon, though. in month 1, month 2, when they see the numbers, because these people are so numbers based and fucking focused on algorithms. I don't check the numbers for this podcast. Know how I know it's moving? Impact. Am I lying, Rory?
You are not. But within that, you have, how long was your contract? How many months? Because I know you're saying fuck the contract if you don't like it. But I'm just going to play devil's advocate here. If you signed a contract where it said you get paid this much amount of money per month, we get to control the ad revenue we bring in. That's why we're hiring you.
Great.
So I can see now you wanting to walk, say, fuck that, you made too much money off me. I'm not doing this again unless you renegotiate, and I get a percentage of Nike Vapor, of the Spotify bullshit.
Well, Rory, where we are, let me respond to you so you save some breath. Where you are, this is the renegotiation. Mm-hmm. This is the end of the contract.
But I'll ask you, as your friend, what did you think walking into that contract? Of course, it was a new experience, and no one knew exactly what it would be. Complex is going to complex, man. They're a huge media corporation backed by Verizon. Like, that's what's going to happen.
I thought, if you're asking me what I thought that Complex would recognize what academics and myself as outside entities and vendors have done for that conglomerate, and at the end of the contract, they would show that they have appreciated the best year that they have ever had. More subscriptions than they've ever had. More audience.
This is saying now, today.
Yes, today.
Okay. No, I'm on you on that side. I'm saying when you walked into this.
Our show increased numbers for all the shows. That's what I'm saying. So when it's time,
that's how YouTube works.
So when it's time to renegotiate, let me tell you people something. I like to live in the future. Like, as a creator, I try to be ahead of things. Just because I ain't nobody in real life. So I mean, if I don't beat you to the punch, then I'm not going to get a glass of the punch. Right. So I try to do that. You cannot. Let me say it again. You cannot not acknowledge the creators and compensate the creators. And if I were a poker player, I would be willing to move all of my chips to the table to say I'm not the only creator that feels that way around there. So
I get that. But
here's where we are.
Every label, this is nothing new where the company always thinks they're more important than the artist.
All right. Let me help you here.
The world's changing.
The world has changed.
Oh, I'm agreeing with y'all. I'm just playing the other side here.
Even the labels today, Rory. Go talk to Nipsey. Go talk to all the labels today. You know. So I mean, I know what you're doing. The labels today have to play a different game. Mm-hmm. This is incompetence on the side of whoever is making decisions. I don't know. As a creator, though, the most important thing for me is the correct home, right? Very early on, I recognized that Complex may not necessarily be the right home, not for the show, but for Joe.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, let's keep this all the way funky.
As someone who knows you and knowing this show, you and Ak, I think Charlemagne said this to Ak a long time ago. You was dumb for doing that. You could have brought all your YouTube viewers by yourself and did your own thing. And of course, it's grown now. But I think going to we don't have to name names of different media outlets, but going to another one, who says you're not going to run into the exact same fucking thing?
Oh, you almost certainly will.
So I think it's to a point where fuck all of them, grab Ak and do that shit on your own.
I pitched that a while ago.
That seems like a very easy solution.
Easier said than done, of course, but when it's something that you own by yourself, easy.
I support Ak in getting every single fucking dime that he should get from that building for the services that he has rendered.
Say whatever you want about Ak. Ak brought a lot to that show. He brought a lot of viewership to that show.
Right.
He brought a whole different opinion that no one in this room could ever bring.
Right.
You could disagree with that opinion.
No, he was valuable, even if
it was some shit that none of us believe.
Even if he was hateable, it was.
But it was a debate.
We both were hateable. We both are hateable.
Exactly.
Which made the dynamic so good.
But we didn't hate each other.
Right.
That's why it worked.
Right.
Here's the thing with Ak. Ak has made his empire from YouTube
by himself, which is also an amazing thing that I'll always give Ak credit for forever.
But my point is, for him, for a 26, 27-year-old young man, who already did his own thing to worship and idolize some of these entertainers like we all did coming up, and to now be in a position where you get to meet some of them. They know your name. They're addressing you.
Which we've seen.
That is a big thing.
Yeah, 100%.
I am not that way, and it means nothing to me, and I don't want to kick it with nobody. Right. However, I don't expect Ack to hold that same stance.
Well, yeah, because if it was you and 10 years ago and it was Prince and Michael Jackson and you know what I mean, you'd be
I'd have lost my lost my fucking mind.
Right.
I'd had a heart attack. So I'm not mad.
It's terrible that Lil Pump is Michael Jackson in the story. But let's stay on topic.
Well, wait, Little Pump might be Michael Jackson to a lot of people.
Word.
That nigga got like 3 million followers or something. But so I don't expect him to do that. My train of thought is always one of, I can do it myself.
Right.
I can do this alone. If whatever pitfall y'all are about to provide, I can just go and rock. I have the capital. I have the audience. My thing is always cutting out the middleman. Always. Yeah. I'm not sure that, even though Axe audience is bigger than theirs damn near, or the same.
Well, not Complex's entire audience. Something
not
as
whole.
Niche as Everyday Struggle,
Yes,
of course.
yes.
I would say Axe is probably close to the same.
Yeah, so listen, man, it was just, what, bottom line is no need to get into too much.
Where, just so we can get off the you and Act thing, I really have no idea what you and Act's relationship really is. Have y'all talked about this since this negotiation has happened?
We talk every day.
Okay.
We talk every single day.
And before giving away any cards, say what you will say and say what you won't. Where y'all at in an agreement on where this is going next week?
I have no idea. Joe has nothing to do with anything happening with that show currently or how they broadcast.
Okay.
I support Ack in whatever it is he is attempting to do because he earned it.
Yeah,
niggas earned it. I don't think niggas is asking for more than they have earned. That's all. So I'm not gonna get too much into this right now because niggas is telling me I'm trolling.
You're a troll.
Yeah, I didn't think I was that big of a troll until so many people were telling me, nah, Joe's back. He's taking paternity leave. I've been telling Ian for 3 weeks, don't you dare book me a paternity leave. You gotta want to get out the house for a couple of seconds.
It would be a great new way to start Everyday Struggle. You pretend to beef and then come back and then everyone watches.
Yeah, all right, but that is my thing. Let's get back into Everyday
marketing
Struggle.
Strategy.
Let's get back into business. Wouldn't be cliche because I have seen not nan marketing dollars spent on this show all year. Whatever.
I.e. the marketing plan being your timeline.
Yeah,
yes, you'd be correct.
Let's be very clear. The way that this show is marketed and promoted,
it's Ian's Instagram.
My Instagram, Instagram,
I always thought that,
Complex Instagram.
Thought that was a little weird that they like the way they pump the Breakfast Club in the city. They don't do with y'all.
Somebody in that company has to be bright enough.
And I hold iHeart and Verizon very close in companies.
Right.
So it shouldn't be something that's crazy to ask.
Right.
Somebody
not
in
to the
that
degree
company,
of Breakfast Club, but something.
You have to be bright enough to recognize your flagship show is your flagship show, number one. You have to be bright enough to recognize the impact that your flagship show has had less than 9 months out.
Right.
That's important. I don't care about what losses you think you take. I don't care about any of that shit. I don't care. What I'm finding in corporate America is a lot of these places act as boys clubs. There's a boys club in Complex.
As there is in...
What you mean by boys club?
Say any entertainment
There's a secret
industry.
society of people that are taken care of.
It's back to when we say the labels play musical chairs.
Yes.
They just hire their friends.
You just hire your man. You fucking, each one teach one, all of that fucking bullshit.
Sure.
As vendors, though, Ack and myself are not in that boys club. So at the end of the contract, what did you think was going to happen?
Right.
The fact that everybody's confused, it speaks to negligence. It speaks to people who have no idea how to handle this. Why would I house it there?
Right.
I'm not gonna not be credited, not be compensated, not be made to feel good, be treated poorly, and then fucking just laughed out. I had my baby Friday. Sunday, Ian emails Complex to say, no need to worry about a thing. Joe will be there bright and early on Monday. Know what they hit him back and said? In receipt of your email, Ian.
First of all, in receipt
In
of your
receipt of
sounds
your
like some
email,
bullshit is coming.
Word.
Joe's newly expired contract is indeed expired. We have moved on. If Joe is to come to work, that would be awesome, but he'll accept this rate of pennies and biscuits. My question to you gentlemen who know me well, tell me how I could go to work now.
You not.
Tell me.
I mean, it would go against everything you preached on
Yes.
on that show.
Yes.
Right.
Tell me how I could do it. Hey, here's another plot twist for you. Know what eliminates all of these money and financial and all of these concerns? Your sales team. Your sales team. If your sales team could sell anything, we wouldn't have a problem. Everything would be great. Sorry, Complex, you cannot continue to tell me that Out of Bounds is more profitable. You cannot continue to tell me that Blueprint is more profitable. You cannot continue to tell me that sneaker shopping is more profitable. Guess what? Even if it is, I don't give a fuck. It's not my job to sell ads.
Right.
I could call fucking WME and go find a fucking ad sales team. But we do 1 million a day.
Right.
You can't sell it?
Something wrong with you.
And you're telling me it's my fault?
Right.
I take the hit. The boys club wins. Nadeska, all of these people up there that are in this exclusive club, when Joe and Ack perform well, you niggas get bumps.
Right.
Joe and Ack do not.
Right.
Joe is new to this employment game, but one thing Joe is not is a fucking fool.
Yeah.
Somebody stop me when I'm saying something incorrect. Y'all
But I
protect
think
me
it's-
from myself.
But it's similar to, I just have to give your full, it's similar to what you did at Def Jam. You were an employee at Def Jam. They gave you a lump sum of money that you owed back. It's the same thing.
It's not
No,
really.
it's not-
It's not
it's
really,
not the
Rory.
same.
The end result
Nobody
is
is
the same.
buying
The end result
nobody
is the
on
same.
Def Jam was buying Ashanti's album because Joe Budden came out. It's not the same. It's a million things different with the scenarios.
A record label situation.
Same
like
end result.
Nah,
It's the
not
same
really.
boys
Rory,
club.
you don't get-
It's the same. It's the
Boys
same
club.
marketing.
There's some
People
similar
fighting for the artist they want to fight for. Come on, it's the same boys club bullshit. It's the same end result. Of course, it's different because you're selling music and selling content. It's different, but
Right.
it's the same end result within the workings of that company.
I'm glad you said that, Rory.
It's the
because,
same.
Because while I think your example is a false parallel, what I will say is this. Our show would be the equivalent of putting out a hit single every day. A new one.
Right.
Wait, don't say a word yet. You're the label. I come to you with a new single every day and it pops. It's a smash. As the label, you haven't spent a dime in a year.
Plus, the other thing too is sometimes your biggest shit is
They haven't spent a dime.
Sometimes your biggest.
The complex boss does the sneaker shit, right?
I don't know who the Complex boss is.
Someone very high in complex does that.
Joe
sneaker.
LaPuma does sneaker shopping. Joe LaPuma's great. Shout out to him.
Great guy, great piece of content
And
too.
sneaker
Watch it
shopping
every
is
single
great.
time. Okay, so Jay-Z was the head of Def Jam when you was there. Who is the building fighting for more? Jay-Z, their boss in the boys club, or the guy that always yells at them and berates them and screams at them and speaks poorly of them?
Rory, you gotta. I see what you're doing, but because I want to keep this conversation on track, let me tell you how they're looking at it. And let me
Quick
tell
question: Were you in negotiations?
No, there has been zero negotiation. This has been Ian and myself at Complex for the past 5 to 6 months trying to figure out what would be happening at the end of the term so Joe could properly plan his 2018.
Gotcha. Okay.
Rory, let me I feel where you're going, but let me tell you what I think. I think that some of these other shows that are whitewashed, and I think that some of these other shows that don't have the loud, tattooed, black nigga, I think some of those other shows are easier to sell, Rory. I do.
And,
I do think that you could sell
outside of the obvious of that. It's who we're all human beings. People that work in these companies are human beings. They're going to work harder for the people that they like. Quick example: Dame Dash ran up and down those Def Jam hallways saying the truth all the time. From everyone who I think in this room comes from the same place and moral palette that Dame did, we agreed.
Dame's
but Dame
moral palette is a lot higher than other people.
Yeah. And Dame went and told the truth all up and down those hallways, and what happened? People didn't want to fight for him anymore, and that's how the corporate shit goes. That's why you have to play the game when you do that bullshit.
I agree. I mean,
you have to.
No, I don't. I'm not playing no game.
Then don't play the corporate shit. Don't play the corporate
shit. That's not.
I'm not saying play the corporate
You know
game.
what?
I'm agreeing that people kind of receive Joe the same way, and your
That they
example
did.
that they receive Dame. A lot of people don't,
Rocks the boat.
particularly like Joe. Joe is very on his own thing, and wants
and
to do
both people coming from a place that matters to this actual culture,
integrity.
and not what these people that are hired and sit at their desk all day that don't appreciate it come from.
Yeah.
And those people are there for a paycheck and want to be in a nice environment, and that's not the environment that this culture is from.
I mean, in all honesty, Joe is just fighting a losing battle.
Which is why I think it's the corporate shit.
Wait.
Corporate.
When I say that, it's because I hear your stance and everything that you're standing for and things you're fighting for, but you're outnumbered.
All right, let me stop you there. So let me make my stance very clear. I heard Stephen A. say this not too long ago, and he echoed my sentiments exactly. My number one priority when I walk into work every single morning is, how can I make my boss way more money than he's making? And number two is, once I do that, how can I make more? So I understand that. And that's why this is a bit confusing and befuddling with Complex, because I didn't ask them for a lot. Mm-hmm. I wasn't asking for much. For what
I don't think that's your type of mentality.
What?
How can I make this other person more money than me?
Well, in corporate, it became
that is corporate.
My very first day on the job, I told you what I did.
Which i.e. is now why we're here, because that's not you. Which is an honorable thing to be. I'm coming up with all this. Of course, Complex did they thing because all those visuals look great. It takes a lot to film something that early, cut it, and then put it out.
Man,
let's give Complex some credit.
I'm not giving
That's
Complex credit for shit. There are a grand total of 15 people that work on that show.
Back to my point.
There are 15,
why it ain't your mentality to do that.
No, this is where we go wrong. I opened that building every morning. I was the first person there.
Well, you up at 3 a.m. anyways.
But that's why I take pride in, and there's some little things that I take pride in that I was unable to showcase rapping. Like being on time, being involved in shit, like, really seeing shit through.
Well, yeah.
In rapping, you go in the studio, you make your album, you put that shit out, the fans like it or they don't like it. I mean, and that's the end. That's the end. And now you go right back in for the next 6-7 months of your life and hope that Nah. Let me be clear. At no point have I thought about rapping again. But that's the problem. That is the thing. To get in business with Joe, let me make this announcement, because there's a lot of niggas I'm talking to, and there's a lot of people that are talking to me. I'm one of the creators that don't navigate with fear. I'm not afraid.
Right.
I have no quarrel in my ability to create. So when you come talk to Joe about anything Joe, any business related to Joe needs to see that you are as invested as Joe. Know how Joe sees that? Either in time, length of contract. Let's think sports. If I'm a franchise quarterback, you're going to try to lock a nigga up. Time or money or equity or something. There was zero effort on the side of Complex or Rich or Noah or Sean or anybody up there to try to get this done in a applicable, not applicable. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word because I got a brain freeze. But in a correct manner. None. Sorry, I take my business elsewhere. I'm out. You will not do that. Joe does too much on the ground floor. I'm sorry that some of you gentlemen are unaware because you sold your company to Verizon and now you don't give a fuck what happens at Complex. Sorry. I'm sorry. If y'all really want to talk about it, that has zero to do with Joe. I am not in that boys club. I received not 1 red cent of Verizon dollars. Who the fuck from Verizon gonna tell Joe what to do and talk about and say, huh?
Joe's under contract.
Man, it's Joe at the end of the day still.
Which is why we're here.
Joe, I need no help feeling empowered. I need no help feeling like I can do it on my own. I'm not afraid. God has been in control of all of this. This 2017, which was a great year, man. Hold up, man. Round of applause for my 2017. This was a great fucking year. In unemployment, I project 2018 to be far greater.
No doubt.
I'm not worried. Every executive in 70% of the executives have hit my phone I'm
playing devil's
you
advocate
did
here.
the right thing.
You and I have spoke on the side about
You
this.
are fighting the good fight. Do not let up. That's what they are saying.
They're also executives. Complex had those too, and that's who you had a problem with.
No, Complex had Verizon executives. I'm of the belief that Complex, there's no such thing as a Complex. I believe that Verizon is calling Complex shots, which is why smoking in a bathroom and paying this little insignificant amount of fucking money for the services rendered, if there were hip hop culture people in charge, there would be no conversation to have. Look on your fucking socials today. The fans can't believe it.
No,
More couldn't believe it.
That's all. I mean, in closing, that corporate shit, if you're not pleasant to be around, they're not going to want to continue to do it. For example, I want to say it was Neil Brennan. I was watching an interview. He was saying when he picks people sometimes for movies, it's not the best person. It's the one I can spend a year around.
Let me, and this is the thing here. And this is,
and that's where a lot of corporate shit comes down to.
You name it.
They
white
want people.
Rory.
They want people. And Verizon isn't white people.
But so you're missing the greater. You're missing the greater conversation that I'm attempting to have because you keep talking about white people, and
that's why we're here.
I know.
At the end of this,
I know. What do you think the next step is?
You and I have had conversations on the side. I'm playing devil's advocate here in your point because I know you'd rather not be with them in 2018. I know all the plans you have that we won't talk about here.
But what I'm
saying as devil's advocate here.
No, but that's not my point. What I'm saying is this. That Jeezy interview happened on Everyday Struggle, right? And Jeezy, and you know what? Listen, I want y'all to go back and retroactively look at a lot of these Everyday Struggle episodes. For the past 5-6 months, I've been sitting in that room on that screen using every instance that came up in hip hop to directly relate to Complex, Academics, and myself. Now that you have that information, it's beautiful how it all played out. But let me go to that Jeezy interview because Jeezy is the nigga that looked at me and said, this is when I was, questioning his relevance and all types of shit. He's the nigga that looked at me and said, listen. When it ain't there, it ain't there. You do what you got to do. Ain't no complaints. The beautiful thing is when it ain't working over here, it's great to have your people to say, whoa, you down, my nigga? I got you. Your people to say, whoa, what was the problem over there? They didn't understand your mentality, what you were saying, what you were attempting to do for this culture. Hold up. I got you. So let me point out a few things. Man, I'm really appreciating the text messages that I am receiving from Charlamagne. That's number one. My biggest fucking adversary, damn near, to perception wise. When you get down and I won't say white people because I love white people, but when corporate people,
we know what you're talking about.
When corporate people just start treating you like you ain't shit, like you the scum of the fucking earth, like you gum on the bottom of a fucking Tim? No, not Joe. My dignity, how I sleep at night is important to me. Tomorrow I'm flying to Miami to meet with somebody. I'm gonna tell you how this unemployment shit is going to go. I'm gonna go talk to Puff the same way I was talking to Vice, the same way I was talking over here, the same way I was talking to Russ, the same way the same way we talking to Ty, the same way we talking to everybody. You gotta have your ducks in a row. We sort of writing on the wall. This jig was up ages ago. ages ago. When those Friday episodes came with these guests without Joe, where we're trying to sell and Joe might stop the money, that says, we're trying to replace Joe.
Yeah, 100%.
We're looking to get rid of Joe. So what do you think happens today as of late when Remy comes in there and says, wait, Joe's not shooting, I'm not doing it? When all of these people come in there and say, wait, there's no Joe, I'm not doing it. That has to be respected somewhere. Or we out. So, UPS. What's really? You know what I mean?
They have really good benefits.
Freestyles during the drops. My baby is great. My baby is great, and he is awesome. Damn, how did we get into Everyday Struggle without playing Everyday Struggle? Y'all are trash.
We jumped into it.
That was you.
Listen,
we can end with it maybe.
No, it's over. Listen,
I did like how you started that the way like ex-girlfriends start, that I'm fine, I'm good. Look at all the stuff I have going on over here. But other than that, I thought that was really good. I think you didn't Joe that response.
I didn't Joe it, right?
I think you were pretty
good. Was I
there.
Respectful?
Yes, I think you were.
All right.
You got everything out?
Sincere?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that this would be such like a media whirlwind. It's like a big
whirlwind.
Deal. Yeah. What's wrong?
The fuck is a whirlwind?
Rory should really get a dictionary.
The whole whirlwind?
Whirl. Oh, I said it wrong. You're saying.
So now that you got all of that out the way, I knew they was gonna get rid of your ass. I tried to tell you, niggas wouldn't listen to me. I said they gonna get rid of your ass the moment they decide.
I was trying to say it nice, small, by saying he was tough to work with.
I knew it. I tried to tell you niggas months ago, Joe, your ass is out of there. I knew it.
You did tell me.
I did.
Did I believe it?
No.
No,
I didn't believe it either when I read it on your social media. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, nah, they ain't. So then when you got here and you saying all this, I'm like, wait, this is real. And you're like, yes, nigga. It's like, I'm like, oh, okay. But I knew it. I mean,
thank you, Mal.
I knew it. I knew it.
Well, why'd you know it? Because Joe is wild?
Not that you're wild.
Joe is crazy. Joe's a lunatic maniac who can't be controlled.
All of those things, but you got to understand that, again, corporate, they don't, as soon as they find a way where they could remove you, because they look at it like we should be thankful that they let us in.
Yeah, there was a mentality. I ain't gonna lie, there was a real arrogance
for bringing that up.
There was a real arrogance. Yeah. It was hurtful.
They feel that way. I know.
I want to be very clear. I want to be as vulnerable as possible. I was hurt. I was disappointed. I was saddened that I had put so much into building something for the year, and it was so recklessly mishandled. But I mean, one day we're gonna get Ack up here, and he's gonna tell you that I said all of this way beforehand. I said you can have it hit and fuck it up.
Yeah,
like that's easy to do.
Yeah,
but more to that point, and I know we have our Henny Palooza jokes, but the meetings that we've taken with these liquor brands, and they have that like, where you should be thanking. We should be on your knees right now, begging to meet with us. And I'm like, dog, we do your job better than you.
Yeah.
Everyone on your marketing team at Hennessy couldn't do one fucking thing we did.
Right.
Because y'all don't understand this shit. And then we should be begging y'all to meet with you. Go suck a dick.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Somebody at Verizon had to know that the ad money that you solicit with Joe and the ad money that you solicit without Joe are very different bags. Mm-hmm. They're different bags. So at some point, if you want to keep this ship rolling, you have to negotiate that bag. You cannot just keep with the same bum-ass bullshit offer that niggas turned down 5 months ago. Right. Where did you think we would be at 5 months later? The arrogance in how they negotiate and how they treat, view, and handle talent says, fuck you.
Right. Well, the funny thing about crunching numbers, too, is they look at these other series as maybe more profitable, but there's a thing called loss leader.
Loss leader.
which maybe you might.
This
be more
is a
expensive.
lost leader.
Right.
They should know what lost leader is.
I would think that they would.
Uh,
Yeah. Sometimes the biggest shit that you do is not the most profitable thing that you
Yeah,
do.
of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You may look at some content as a year-based thing and other things as a 10-year thing.
Right.
I'm comfortable losing money for the first 3 years.
Right.
Because I know past the 5-year, I'm making that back plus triple.
or maybe I'm not making shit off of this, but this is bringing so
Bringing
much
in more,
attention
yes.
to me that I can make a lot more money over here doing.
Well, the
same
good thing
shit.
about all of this is
yeah. This podcast.
Yeah.
Every week, I take a loss.
Right.
I take a loss. Guess what? So,
Right.
one day, this will make sense.
Right.
Right.
It just makes sense. I don't know, man. I don't know what y'all want me to say. I'm trying to be respectful, so I'm going to shut up and fear that I might say something that is not respectful. But I'm not angry. I'm not angry at anybody. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm so thankful and glad that I have my people to help me through this and keep my morale high as I stare at my beautiful, gorgeous newborn. Hey, I'm catching some heat.